Hello everyone, this is TW bringing you another episode of Tales from Skyrim. On our last episode, Xander Macius, an Imperial soldier from Cyrodiil, made his way into Skyrim to serve with the Legion in the civil war against the Stormcloaks. Xander somehow found himself at Marazai Pond in the dead of night, exhausted and depleted. After a rough night gathering his bearings, Xander made his way to Mixwater Mill in the morning. Now Xander must make his way out of Stormcloak territory toward Solitude, without any of his companions. So what happened to Xander exactly, and how did he find himself at Marazai Pond? Well, we do have a journal entry from Xander, so let's go ahead and read it here real quick. It seems the Divines are against my passage into Skyrim. Or maybe they are for me since I am still alive. Our company of soldiers crossed into Skyrim through Fort Pale Pass in the early hours yesterday. As we approached Helgen, there was a great commotion that forced us east of the village. So much fire, smoke, and chaos. Rumors said that a dragon was present. We deemed it too dangerous to head back towards Helgen, so we headed east and then north, keeping the large mountain always to our left. We intended to go around it and then head west towards Solitude. As night fell, so did the Stormcloaks upon us at a river crossing. Their ambush was precise and overwhelmingly separated our small force in two. The sounds of my companions being cut down as we retreated was a horror I wish to not relive. The last thing I recall was seeking refuge on an island in a small pond and passing out from exhaustion. No telling how long I was out until the mudcrabs started to inspect me. After a long night of scrambling in the dark, I made my way to a mill. The residents are wary of my presence, yet I demanded quarter in a ruined-down bunk house and got what little rest I could. However, I must be moving on. It will be perilous if I remain in Stormcloak territory another night. I only hope I will rendezvous with some of my companions, if any others escape the slaughter. So on our last episode, we started at Marazai Pond, and I'm going to bring up the map real quick here and kind of show what happened to Xander. So Xander came up here through Fort Pale Pass, and on his way to Helgen, where the story normally begins with Skyrim, they were probably coming up this road and noticed that a dragon was attacking, or there was just a lot of commotion going on, a lot of noise, people running, and a lot of destruction. So they decided to veer to the right here, and kind of waited it out for a while, but realized that there was just too much going on here, and they couldn't head off west like they needed to towards Solitude. So then they took this road, and then following it around, they kept this large mountain on their left side. So then they kind of cut up the road here, and then just kind of kept following it down, and as night fell, they were coming probably to this river crossing here, and that's when the ambush took place. So I don't know how many soldiers were with Xander at the time, but they all scattered in different directions after the ambush had taken place. So Xander probably cut across this road here and then haphazardly crossed this river up into the hills here. And he probably just ran as far as he could, hearing his companions being cut down behind him. So now he found himself last night at Marazai Pond and just collapsed, basically trying to swim to safety, I guess, and that's where we began our game last time. So he started here at Marazai Pond. He scrambled throughout the night trying to figure out kind of where he was, because he probably didn't notice anything as he was running away. And then in the morning he made his way to Mixwater Mill. So now Xander realizes he can't stay here. He's found out from the residents that he's in Windhelm, or the Windhelm area, and he's in Stormcloak territory. So staying here too long is a bit of a problem. So what's Xander's plan? Well, he's going to try to head to the west and head towards Whiterun, which is neutral territory, and then beyond there he can start heading more into Imperial territory as the war stands right now. But he needs to avoid this river crossing. So what Xander's going to have to probably do is figure out another way across this river and be able to head west and get to Whiterun. So it's going to be a little dangerous, and I don't know how feasible it is to going to be able to actually like cross this river and be able to head this way. But keeping in mind we are in Stormcloak territory, we're going to have to avoid Stormcloak soldiers, but we might also have to find a change of clothes and just make ourselves a little more inconspicuous as we make our way west, at least until we get to Whiterun and then start moving on. So it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and we've disturbed these people at the mill long enough, so we kind of need to be getting on our way. So we're going to go over here to the river here and grab some water, and then we're going to be on our way. So hopefully pick up some water here. There we go. So hopefully we can make it to Whiterun by nightfall, or at least after nightfall. So, and we do have the HUD on now because we know where we are. So we're gonna go up the road a little bit here, and then we're gonna try to cut up and basically head for the river and see how we can make it across. So, and if you're joining me for the first time, this is Tales from Skyrim, which is a roguelike type of game, and the #1 rule in this game is permadeath. So as soon as our character is dead, we will be finished with this game and moving on to another character. So, and Xander here, he's an Imperial soldier, and he's stuck in Stormcloak territory, but thankfully the weather is very cooperative right now, so we don't gotta worry about being too cold. We do gotta be worried about what's killing these animals, so. And there's this river crossing, which I think the Stormcloak attack happened here. So I think we want to start trying to cut up the side of the hills here, although that's pretty impassable from the looks of it. So maybe we cross the river and then double back, and hopefully not run into too much trouble. Although getting up there looks rather challenging. So maybe we need to actually head back the other direction. So basically we wasted a solid hour coming back to the mill. That happens sometimes when you're out hiking and maybe go away you don't mean to and you need to turn back. So we went half an hour down the road and then half an hour back, so. But now it looks like we're kicking up the hills in the right direction here. And it's already getting dark, so it's only about 5 o'clock. So we'll see what we get to when we get to the river, and hopefully it's not going to be too troublesome to cross it. Oh shit, Spriggan. You might want to run from this. That might be a little too tough for us right now. Oh. Can I hide? No, it's very much tracking me. Okay. Got a little too close to that there. There's Gallows Rock again. From last night we got a little confrontation, but I think we left the Spriggan behind us. Oof. Yeah. Now, there'll probably be some more action later down the line with some fighting, but right now we're kind of just trying to get out of here. We look like we're rather high up at the moment. So I'm guessing the river's going to be down there somewhere. Or not. I honestly don't know how feasible it is going to be to get across this river without crossing it at the bridge, because right now we're kind of high up. And whether the Stormcloaks have moved on or not, we don't really know, but actually, I'm wondering if we can make our way down this way. That's a raging river, though, for sure. Now we don't want to get too wet, even though the weather's not too bad, but there is some rocks here, so it looks like we could safely ford this. Oh yeah. What a beautiful sight that is. Normally I just go straight to the bridge to try to cross, but that was not too bad actually. So we've made it to this road now, and we want to head off to the west. I think we're heading southwest, but maybe generally in the right direction. That might be the bridge, yeah, that we want to avoid. And it looks pretty empty right now, so maybe crossing it would have been okay. So we actually want to go this way. It's really easy to lose your bearings even when you have a compass handy. Oh. Looks like just a normal traveler. So we want to try to avoid him. Thought I heard something. It's easier to get spooked when you only have one life to live. Do we want to just follow the river? I mean, it doesn't look easy to follow. Well, that answers that question right there. We're not going to be able to follow it at all, so. See, like we caught somebody's attention. Oh! Did not block that. We're making entirely too much noise, attracting the wildlife. And by the way, normally we could take a wolf pelt here, but if we go into our inventory, we don't currently have a knife. We have a sword, which is not very useful for skinning animals. And in this game, we assume that everybody has some basic survival wilderness knowledge. So, oh, this is a steep hill. Could you imagine climbing this in armor? Wow. Some kind of tower here. This is still daylight. I don't know if this is some sort of Stormcloak. No. No, that's not Stormcloak. I have bandits or something. Yeah, looks like a bandit tower. Right on the roadside, too. Now let's... Veltheim Towers. Alright, let's see if we can get just past them. Let me run.
Hold it. This here's a toll road, see? You're gonna have to hand over, say, 200 gold if you want to use our road.
That seems a little steep. Well, I'm just trying to get through here. Obviously, this is a shakedown, but how does 50 gold sound?
Fine. I can tell you aren't worth the trouble. Just get out of here before I change my mind.
Oof. Luckily, we got quite a bit of gold the last time off of people, so... That's clearly a shakedown, but... I can tell you one thing, though. When we get to town, Xander is going to need a good night of rest, but we still have the problem of being, I guess, an Imperial wares. And maybe we don't want to walk into town like that, so... Oh! More wolves. Hello. They really snuck up on me, too. There's a lot of them coming. I got an idea. It's a little farther than I planned. Ooh. Stay back, wolf. We have wolves in Cyrodiil, and we know how to handle them too. This thinking of bringing him back to the tower to maybe attack those other people, but... Ooh, I'm exhausted. Alright. Saw a couple more dots, but... It's a lot of wolves on the roadside here. We don't want to catch a disease tangling with too much of the wildlife around here. But we can get around these ones. I saw what happened to their companions, so... There's a fox. They'll probably be more interested in him than me. So we're moving on. Alright, there's Whiterun. So how are we going to get ourselves into some different clothing? Let's take a look real quick at what we have. So we do have some fur armor, but that's about it. And I hung on to that more for cold survival than anything. And I don't want to give people a reason to think that we're going to be bandits, so... There's another wolf. Wow. That's looking a little tough to cross, so we might have to tangle with this one. Wolves are not a problem, but it's the rock joint I don't really want to catch, even though it's easy to kill, or cure. Oof. That was quick work. You know, I should be checking these in case they have other items on them. Alright, so it's getting dark. Nobody's going to be able to really see what I'm wearing from a far distance unless I get near a light source, so... Nope. Bones. Maybe before going to Whiterun we'll head down this way. See if we can find something in these barrels, perhaps. Change of clothes, just something to throw on. I know it's kind of silly because... Oh! Those are guards. Okay. For a second I thought those were Stormcloaks. Oof. I was thinking maybe we could check one of these farmsteads and see if we can find some clothes that way, but... There's a farmstead over here. Maybe we could find some clothes. At least until we're done with Whiterun. What's going on over there? Pelagia Farm. We'll see if we can trouble these people. Go ahead and knock with our...
Is someone there?
May I come in?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know if I want to intimidate them. I'm not trying to stir up a lot of trouble. Please, it's
Not
urgent.
my problem.
They do not care. Well, let's check these barrels while we're out here. Potatoes. It's a little dark, so let's pull out our torch. Maybe we can find something out here. I don't know. I'm all thirsty. Apples. No clothes, though. Well, you know what? I'm gonna grab an apple. Just one. Hopefully they won't notice it missing. I can't notice it missing if it's gone. I'll have a drink. Or do we just walk into Whiterun without clothes on? I don't know. Whoa. What happened here?
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
You guys don't really look like you need my help, speaking for the giant that's laying there dead.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm here, with my shield brothers.
Shield brothers, huh? Well, what is a shield brother?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
Sounds like a waste of time to me.
Well, nobody asked you. If you think you're better than we are, go talk to Codlac Whitemane. See what a warrior of true metal is like.
I am a warrior of true metal, and I'm trying to join a proper cause. But you do you. Alright, I have an idea. So if we're lucky, maybe there'll be a Khajiit caravan outside the gates of Whiterun. And maybe we can purchase some clothes from them. Otherwise we could look at these stable homes too. Well, my plan panned out a little bit. I found some Khajiit here, although they haven't set up yet. Let me talk to you.
Need something?
Yeah, what do you got for sale?
Take a look.
Let's see if you got some clothes here that I could purchase, some wares. Alright, I'm going to decide on these gray robes here for 40. And I'm going to save the rest of my money that I have. I don't have much. I overheard him talking a little bit about dragons. Have you had any trouble in your travels?
It is all in this note.
Oh, bandit attacks. Okay. Well, I did come across some myself, so I wouldn't be surprised if they got shaken down as well. Alright. Well, thank you.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
I'm actually
Yes?
really glad that they're here, so let's pop behind here. And we will put on our gray robes. There we go. Don't look like an Imperial soldier anymore. We're still an Imperial, but as far as they know, we are not siding with the Imperials in the Civil War, so...
and see what goods I offer. This one needs something?
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
Dragons. That's the third time I've heard dragons mentioned, so... what we saw must have been true. I don't have any gold to really give them. I'm not going to try to intimidate a guard, so... what good are city walls if they do not protect their citizens?
Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
It's that silver Imperial tongue that got me in. Alright, we've made it at least somewhere safer now.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
Alright, we're gonna go straight to the inn in town, and I'm very familiar with Whiterun, as most of us are, so no need to traipse around too much.
There's talk of dragons. World's gone mad, they say.
The banner there.
Now, oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came
Hello
riding
there.
to
I enjoy
Whiterun
this
to
work
rule
well
the
enough,
West.
but I'm ready to retire.
And the
I've been thinking of selling the inn to Isolda. Anyway, what do you need?
I don't think that's a bad idea if you have to listen to bards all day, but what do you have for sale?
Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
I am ravenous, so let's see what you got. I think I'm gonna take this meat pie here and grab a little food for the road. Maybe a little venison too. Alright, I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing, it's yours for a day.
So then came clashing
I'll show you to your room, right this way.
Last Matilda charged in full of zeal.
Alright, perfect.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Will do. So I'm gonna have a little seat here. Oh, that's pretty nice.
Sadia, wake up.
And then in first person mode, I'm gonna eat some of my meat pie. I'm feeling satisfied, and I'm gonna have a little bit more. We'll have some of that village red wine that we are hanging on to, and maybe a little water.
Here.
Alright, how long do you think we should rest for? We've been pretty much up for over 24 hours with a little nap here, so I'm going to say we're going to sleep a solid 10 hours to get well rested here.
Spare coin for poor beggar.
I'm well rested, but as everybody, I wake up thirsty and hungry, so let's go ahead and have a little more water, and we'll have some of that venison. There we go. Satisfied, well rested. So we're ready to take on the day, so... Well, we're going to end our episode here. We made it to Whiterun safely, and there wasn't too much action in that episode, and in a way I'm kind of glad that we were able to get to this point, but
How are we doing over here?
Xander is here safe, and we're going to be making our way towards Solitude in the next episode into the wilds of Skyrim, so thank you very much for watching this episode, and I will be back with another episode soon. Thanks!
Are you joking?